We consider ourselves a top tier brand.
You can walk up and you can look at a rotisserie, you can look at an offset, or you can look at a San Maria and go, that's M&M. Most people that build smokers and stuff like that, this isn't something that they've done for 15, 20 years. They've never really been in the back of houses like we have.
Passion meets skill and talent, the results are clear.
I think we're about to the point now that we have it dialed absolutely to the nines.
So are we gonna get a chance to fire up some of these smokers?
We don't do that here.
Yeah. We have some pretty awesome names that use us. We have Goldies, which is ranked #1 for Texas Monthly.
#2 Interstellar coming up that uses us.
And we also have Burnt Bean, which is ranked #4 as well.
We have in Texas Monthly 3 of the top 5 using M&Ms.
Location, oh, he's got 2 of ours now. The big one, Kevin Bledsoe, he's just won a James Beard Award.
So you have Kevin Bledsoe out of California, you have Andrew Munoz out of Moose Craft, and then you have Danny at Heritage.
We're humbled to have these guys, just fantastic names at the top of the game that'll be using M&Ms.
We are in Toole, Texas, which 99% of people have no clue where that is. It's at about an hour southeast of Dallas.
We started in a 30 by 40 shop, and then we moved over here. We thought we were gonna outgrow this thing in like 3 years. We had a 3-year plan, and we outgrew it in like 3 months. So we're having to try to figure out kind of what we're gonna do in the future, but that's a good problem to have. I am very much ingrained in Texas barbecue for a long time now. My background is in repair side. M&M was created, my dad, his name is Michael Miller. My name is Michael Miller. So at that point in time, it was M&M Barbecue Pit Repair.
Mike and his dad saw what goes wrong with barbecue pits and what costs restaurants money for 15 years.
And then about 6-7 years ago, we created M&M BBQ Company. M&M still works, you know, Michael and Matt. And that was a kind of an umbrella of everything because we're not just repair. And so that is a short story of kind of how it came to be.
So are you like building anything today?
Yeah, I'm working on those El Reyes, the big ones, the one for Heritage for Danny. I found out very fast that I was not meant for the corporate world. I decided I wanted to do what I always loved, which was build cars and custom fabrication and work with my hands, and I found a tech school. I made a call to check the school out, and I was signed up for that day. I was a speaker at graduation and picked as top outstanding student in every single one of my core classes. Landed a job at a high-end hot rod shop right out of the gate. I did that high-level sheet metal, metal shaping, chassis fabrication, you know, from $250,000 cars to $2 million cars for almost 7 years. Yeah, there's serious R&D in everything we do. One, that all of it carries over from our background. We're a legit in-house fabrication shop, so that's the balance of us hiring and training and people, is finding people that if you don't like building and working things with your hand, because this is rough work, you know, grinding fabrication, but if you're not passionate about it, you won't last long here, that's for sure.
That's one thing that we advocate here. You know, we don't want when you come here that you just dread being here. We want to keep a really fun culture, but you know, produce some cool stuff.
So our wood fire rotisserie, basically, it's a thermostat controlled, castable, insulated, all wood fire smoker. These are simple 7.5 amp, runs less than a hair dryer, and it can run the entire rotisserie. And so it has an actuator motor that's opening a damper on the firebox, producing oxygen and closing oxygen, producing oxygen and closing it all day long. We've actually got 12 plus hours on one load before. Instant savings in the most basic thing in wood. Anything we can do that helps people would see an instant, you know, impact in their pocketbook going, dude, I'm saving $1,000 a week in wood. But we didn't come up with that concept. That concept has been around patented since 1968. But what we've done is we've taken this base design that we know can work, and we just made it work better, last longer, and more intriguing. Basically, we have a rear firebox or a side-loaded firebox that runs off pure wood. Once you get your fire established and it runs, all the racks, there are 12 racks inside of a rotisserie that turns, so it's self-basting, constantly moving, nothing static, delivers heat as absolutely evenly as possible. So we have an MM240, we have an MM1000, and an MM2000.
Our MM2000, which is our largest rotisserie. He's a veteran, so we did 30 millimeter rounds from a 810 Warthog.
Well, everyone loves them. I think they look killer.
60 to 72 briskets is about the range on it, so nearly 2,000 pounds of meat. Pretty amazing.
It's like the capacity of 2 1,000-gallon pits.
Yeah, very much so.
It's pretty amazing watching the initial hesitancy from
Yes.
offset guys and hearing somebody that's as established as they are cook on it for a couple weeks. Learn the secrets. They're all a little different. Everything's different, and then getting the call and saying, I cooked the best brisket I've ever cooked, which is, I love hearing it because all the offset lovers and other people that are anti-rotisseries, they can keep fighting it, but they're not going to be able to fight it for the long.
Yeah.
Location,
Yeah,
he's a ball energy.
he is. He's awesome. Mo called me up and he's like, Mike, I just got to tell you this, man. He goes, I cooked the best brisket. I would put this against anybody in Texas. I'm telling you right now. And it came off that M&M. He's been doing Memphis and May competing about 7 years now. And that's almost a Super Bowl of cook-offs. He's never got that final call. And he's like, Mike, I want you to build one of your 240s for me, specifically for Memphis and May. He's never cooked on a 240, and he called me up, and he's like, Mike, I got the championship call. I'm making the top 3. He's never got a globe like that, never made the top 3, and he's super excited, and I'm super excited. I'm like, dude, you're about to make me cry, man. Like, they're not only customers, they're friends, and we call them M&M family. Like, when they win, we win. And we help each other win. Like, can we put the best product out for them? We love offsets too. We build them as well. And so what we try to do is say, hey, we're gonna build you the baddest pit no matter which one.
We have to build these 100, obviously, which is marketed at 6 briskets. It'll do 8. Johnny himself said they put it at 6 because 8 was a handful. You can do it, but it's a handful. It's a little bit more to deal with. Then we go straight to 250 gallon, or 500 and 1,000 right now. There's everything we own. Okay, so the Texas traditional offset, you firebox on one end, stack on the other end. The design is not as old as it seems. It almost feels like this has been around for 100 years. 1983 is when the first official Texas offset came into fruition. And so with it not being all that old, really no one has done much tweaking to them. Kind of said, all right, well, here's kind of what we've done. Let's just keep rolling with the same thing we've done. Let's cut a big hole in it. Let's put a big firebox on it and let's roll. And then you burn the first fourth of your food. So him and I are going, no, we're gonna come together. We're gonna come up with a design that you can utilize 100% of the pit.
Our full setup, full castable bottom. So as this firebox heats up, coal bed's established, the actual bottom of this, which is castable refractory, will heat up and resonates heat as well, which helps maintain an even pit as it goes.
The most unique firebox in the game. So we patented a flat bottom round top for that one. Honestly started it for pure function purposes. We like really big coal beds. So not only do you have your fire in there, that thing is a heating stone. You just have a constant warming heat source that holds heat better than anything. It doesn't drop heat as much as other ones.
We want to make sure that, hey, this is a bad piece and this is awesome, but this thing is going to operate, this thing is going to run, and it's going to serve every day.
We've actually done a lot of study and practice on thermodynamics, basically moving heat around.
This has our patented bypass system, which basically allows us to function and actually cook and use door one, which is pretty awesome. So we've been working on this for a long time.
The absolute lightest, smoothest doors in the industry.
This is a 3/8 thick plate door setup, and this is our finger light doors. Pretty awesome. Yeah.
There's some other smooth doors in the game, but not as light and smooth as ours. We've got that freaking dialed.
The phrase we say here a lot is functional aesthetics. That's kind of like a core value focus of M&M. It's functional in the fact that everything we do, we don't just design or change something because it looks cool. We make it look cool. That's what we do. It's part of our style and our brand. It has that, twisted steel and sex appeal. But whatever change we made was specifically because a restaurant complained about something.
Everything is done by M&M. We don't outsource anything here. These are high-end, high-quality builds.
Been requested to do this biscuit test for a while now. And after many reach outs, we're going to do the biscuit test.
The biscuit test is basically the gold standard for looking at heat distribution in a pit. With biscuits, unlike barbecue, I like to get it up to like 300, 325. Yeah, it basically, because they're light, supposed to be cooked hot and fast, and fluffy will let you know instantly where the hot spots are in your spoon. I think the ultimate test
is actually cooking in a smoker with a live fire at 325, 300 degrees, and still being able to say, look at that, there's a fire right next to this, and everything came out wonderful. All right, lose a good bit of heat loading it up, so we're gonna go ahead and throw one more log on it. All right, let it eat.
Now, before we see the results of the biscuit test, I need to talk about Epidemic Sound, the sponsor of today's video, who provided all of the music and sound effects that you've heard so far, but also who are giving away a 30-day free trial. Epidemic Sound is a platform for restriction-free music, giving access to over 40,000 professionally produced tracks and over 90,000 sound effects, with new tracks being added every week. I've been using Epidemic Sound's personal plan, which is best suited for content creators ever since I started this channel years ago, and it is an absolute staple when it comes to anything related to making videos. I love the quality and variety that the library has, but most importantly to me is that all the sounds are protected, meaning I can soundtrack my videos without any threat of receiving copyright strikes or takedowns. They also have a mobile app, so you can search their library on the go. I use the app all the time when I'm traveling and don't have access to my computer, so I can easily save tracks to use later with just the click of a button. And as promised, Epidemic Sound is giving a 30-day free trial. And yes, everything you post during your trial is protected, even if you cancel. So click the link in the description box to get a free 30-day trial. And if you use my code BBQC50, after your free 30 days, you'll get your next 2 months at 50% off. Thank you, Epidemic Sound. Now let's get back to the biscuit test.
So whether it's an offset or rotisseries, every single one of us fires ran through them. Every single one of them goes through a QC check. We already have them seasoned before they leave the shop.
All right, so we're at about 20 minutes. The last log on it got her up to about 325, so it went a little quicker than she thought she was. This right here, this is literally on the wall, and it's just a golden brown. Second row, third row.
That's at 325.
That's at 325. Flaky. So we both were born in Dallas. We actually met when we were 10. But we didn't hit it off quite yet. It was kind of competitive. Turned out we both like riding bikes, and
once we started hanging out, we were inseparable for 30 years now.
I've been calling him Old Man Mike since he was 12, so that's all right.
Yeah, I think everybody had.
Yeah, the darkest ones are at the bottom. That's right next to the firebox.
We like taking our equipment and just throwing it in the fire. Trial by fire, because then you get the best constructive criticism back on the plant. When you have especially chefs and pitmasters that we work with.
Criticism and innovation are almost hand in hand. Here at M&M, we welcome criticism.
So El Rey is our first Santa Maria style grill. When designing that and wanting to come up with something unique, we came up with the cantilever arm design. So it's a free suspended, the arms are actually coming from the back, and the grates and just the cables are hanging. We're already seeing some people kind of trying to copycat around on the internet. Quick, it's crazy how fast it happens.
Within a week.
Saw one in Australia, someone whipped up that I thought it was something I built. It's like, holy shit, it looks just like something I did. It looked good. I was like, Anthony, it looks good. It's amazing how much red tape you have to go through. It's because how simple people can just divert here to change it. So I think it ended up being a design patent, basically for the aesthetics of cantilever style arm. And that's also ETL NSF certified. Completely kitchen safe, fire rated.
Yeah,
the most expensive roll of stickers you'll ever see in your life.
So NSF is that it's food safe. If you look at your refrigerators, to your stoves, to all that stuff, you're gonna see this little blue tag. That lets the health department that's gonna be coming into your restaurant to say, hey, this thing is healthy for the public to cook on. ETL is UL rating. That is your fire safety. That is to let your fire marshal go, hey, this thing has been tested and it's safe to put in your building or safe to have XYZ. If you're starting a restaurant, if you're doing anything like that, I'm gonna look right at the camera. You want to make sure to have those certifications. It took a year off my life to get these NSF and ETL certifications. Because of our history, we know these cities want NSF and ETL. They want UL certified equipment. Last thing we want to do is have somebody buy a $45,000 piece of equipment from us, spend $100 grand, and then the city go, I couldn't imagine going through that. I can't sleep at night going through that, and I'm not the one building it. We will make sure these things are certified and ready to rock and roll, and we're going to go to bat for you too. So when the city calls you, when all these guys call you, we already have everything ready for you. We'll work hand in hand with the city, we'll work hand in hand with the fire marshal.
This is a trend we're seeing that is an issue, and I don't see anyone fixing it, so we're going to be the first ones to fix it.
These are the backyard.
Yep.
Okay.
So this is the standard size for now, our first one. This is the El Nino.
So our backyard model that we're really pushing on is our El Nino, which is our Santa Maria grill. Our base is basically a 36-inch by 17-inch cooking grate, fully mobile, but also an option to remove from the stand if you want to put it in a counter. And it is basically the little brother to El Rey that has our same patented cantilever, pre-suspended style with a really smooth gear and haul. The Goldie's backyard is a 100-gallon offset, which is Goldie's design, built by M&M. We do have a prototype backyard offset, but we're just not ready to drop it yet. Some call it the dark horse waiting in the back. The other one that isn't ready yet, it's not finalized, but we do have a mini backyard rotisserie that is an absolute monster. The first prototype has just been cashing checks and snapping necks.
I'll open it up real quick. It can fit up to 4 briskets in it. All thermostat controlled, 100% all natural wood fired as well. There's no gas in this, there's no heater elements in this, it's natural wood fired. You can get 6 hours or so on a full firebox.
Not only do we build equipment, service equipment, and work on equipment, but we cook on our own equipment.
Yep.
So you go to any event, and from what I see, there aren't any other pit builders that are out there slinging and firing with all the chefs, all the pit masters, and we enjoy it. Like we're in the whole industry. We're not just builders. We enjoy cooking, and I like being around it. You get to work with some of the best people in the world at cooking. I'm learning from it too. So I think it's just the ultimate storm to create the best product possible.
First part done.
Awesome.
Let's go.
For almost 4 years, cooked and ran a kitchen at a barbecue restaurant in college. Yep. I needed a job and ended up running a kitchen for almost 4 years at a very high volume barbecue restaurant. Learned a whole lot. So
Fun fact, he's probably one of the fastest slicers in the game. Nobody's seen it yet, but he is fast.
Hold on. Damn, we are blessed. Look at the people that we get to meet, the years that we put in, and the hours we put in to see it all come to fruition. Gratitude. I don't have to go do this. I don't have to do this. We get to do this. Feeling when you have these customers that call you up and like, man, this changed my life. Made it to where I'm sane again because I was getting zero sleep. I just smiled for the entire day going, man, I just love it. I absolutely love the fact of seeing our product go from stock on the shelf to building an absolute workhorse that is a unique one-off piece that we can repeat and turn into something that actually goes out and works for people. It kind of started with we wanted to build pits, figuring out what business we were going to build. Now we 100% know exactly what we're building and what we're after. Hallelujah. Lee.